Your identity, the most valuable thing you'll never own. Because 3 companies you never chose already own everything about you. They hold your social security number, your birth date, your entire credit history. Hackers didn't just break into databases. They stole the financial DNA of half America. Names exposed, addresses leaked, birthdays stolen, even credit cards compromised. And the damage didn't stop at stolen data. It destroyed lives completely. The Equifax story. When 148 million identities were stolen because of one unpatched server and nobody noticed for 77 days. This is cyber fallout. " 2017 arrived. Credit determined everything. Cars, homes, apartments. But you didn't control your credit. 3 companies did: Experian, TransUnion, and the biggest, Equifax. Founded in 1899, Equifax became a financial gatekeeper. They held files on hundreds of millions of people worldwide. Not customers, everyone. Here's what made this breach different. Equifax didn't fall to sophisticated attacks. They fell because they ignored software updates. March 2017, Apache announced a critical flaw in Struts software, a tool millions of websites used. Severity score, 10 out of 10. A fix was released immediately. Companies everywhere patched their systems. Equifax? They hit snooze. By then, Equifax was pulling in billions selling consumer data. Yet their online dispute portal, the system running Struts, was wide open. March 10th, hackers walked through the door, and nobody at Equifax even noticed.
The attack was simple. Hackers sent crafted requests, and because patches weren't installed, Equifax's portal welcomed them in. But instead of grabbing data and leaving, they stayed. For 76 days, they explored databases and servers as if they owned them. September 7th. Equifax finally went public. Their stock collapsed, losing billions. Americans flooded their site to see if they'd been exposed. The site crashed. Scammers registered fake domains to steal even more info. Equifax tried apologies and free credit monitoring. It wasn't enough. Behind the headlines were real people. A nurse who found 14 credit cards opened in her name. Her score dropped 300 points overnight. A retiree who had his tax refund stolen and spent years proving he was himself. The FTC logged millions of new identity theft complaints in the year after the breach. Lives were derailed by company negligence. And the failures were almost comical. Unencrypted social security numbers, default passwords like admin/admin, hundreds of expired security certificates. Warnings were ignored, patches were skipped, and the world paid the price. Equifax faced hundreds of lawsuits and investigations from every corner of government. In 2019, they agreed to pay up to $700 million, the largest breach settlement in history. But only $31 million went to victims as cash. That's about 21 cents per person affected. The rest got credit monitoring they never asked for. The breach forced change. Laws now require faster breach notifications. Credit freezes became free.
States passed stricter privacy rules. And suddenly, millions of Americans learned to freeze their credit reports and treat their social security number like classified files. Equifax spent over $1 billion fixing systems and changing leadership. But nothing changed the core issue. You still can't opt out. Equifax still collects and sells your data. You never chose them, but they still profit from your identity.
Lesson 1. Basic security isn't optional. This wasn't nation-state attacks, it was ignored patches. Lesson 2. When companies control your data, you have no power. You didn't choose Equifax, but when they failed, you paid the price. And Lesson 3. Your digital identity is only as secure as the weakest company holding it. What hasn't changed? 3 private companies still control financial identities of 300 million Americans. They still collect data without consent. They still profit from it. The Equifax breach showed us that our identity, the most personal thing we have, was never really ours to begin with.
Today, millions live with frozen credit, watching bank accounts, guarding social security numbers like state secrets. All because one company skipped an update. Equifax proved you're only as safe as the most careless company with your data. The next time you hand over your information, remember Equifax. Because in cybersecurity, the most dangerous breach is the one you never had a choice in. This has been Cyber Fallout. Subscribe for more stories of what happens when our digital lives collide with corporate negligence.